Good morning. Let us hope that people will continue to flow in, but I understand it's very cold, and I was promised it never got this cold here, so hopefully it will warm up. My California blood isn't used to it, so anyway, welcome. Glad to have you all here. I'm the Reverend Dave Clements. I serve this congregation as their minister. And this morning, before we get started, we have a real treat. We have a group of actors that are going to share with us something that they want us to do. So without further ado,
welcome to our trivia skit. Bonnie Brent, Social Justice from our church, Cecilia Fix from United Community, and Jeff Caitlin, a former Jeopardy champ who's going to be our quizmaster for Trivia Night on the 28th.
It's Saturday evening trivia. Welcome to our fundraiser for United Community. Hi, I'm Jeff Pandon, your host for the evening. Our contestants are Bonnie Brandt and Cecilia Fix from United Community. Now, why do we need a fundraise for United Community?
It's simple. Poverty is worsening in the southeastern Fairfax County, Alexandria area, and the needs are pressing. United Community, they're our logical partners. We were founding members of United Community. We share the plate and do all manners of activities with them.
We make good trouble. We look at poverty challenges holistically and provide a wide range of services. It's not just food, it's every aspect of life that folks need help with. We have the organizational skills to back this up and make things happen.
All right, on question one, you both gave great answers, so that one's a tie. Question number two, how are we going to raise this money?
We are going to co-host with you a evening on Saturday, February 28th, where we sell team tables and raffles to raise $5,000, which will be enough to support 250 families right here in our community.
To get this done, we need you, our members, to form teams of 8 people. Perhaps one team from choir, one from the membership committee, one from Hum and Strum, and whoever. Maybe your book club wants to come. It is multi-generational teams that usually win. I have a question. What is the name of the neighbor who wore a red cardigan? You're a winner! You need a table!
All right, question number 3. How many years have United Community and MVUC partnered together? Is it 10 years, 20 years, or 50 years?
50 years!
I don't know why they need me. These guys have all the answers. We'll see you on February 28th. If you need more info, there's a table in the comments.
It's
Saturday Night Trivia!
thank you, John, for putting that together, and please get out and support. It's a worthwhile fundraiser, and plus, we need to have fun during these times. So, you know, I don't know how your week has been, but it's been quite a week. You know, I missed not meeting with you last Sunday, but I'm glad that it was the right call just for safety reasons. And of course, I was as troubled as you are with the death of Alex and the things that have been going on this week. But I want to let you know that there are some really good things that are happening here. You know, not yesterday, but the week before, We had about 75 of you came here and participated in our kind of thinking about what we wanted to be like and what are the things that you wanted to see. And members of the program council served as the facilitators at each of the table, and today, after service, they'll have an opportunity at our town hall to kind of share with you some of those things, but I'm excited about the things that came up and the things that you want to do. And then yesterday, we hosted a training, and trainers that are trying to put together the rapid response training to respond to ICE. And I committed us to be a site where we'll actually do some training, so look forward probably sometime in the next couple of weeks. We'll have a date. This will be for anyone in the community to come, and this is part of us leading into our community and standing up. And also, Bonnie and I will be meeting with the faith leaders this Wednesday to help draft a statement from the faith leaders in this area of what we stand for, similar to the statement that we have here at MVUC. In connection with that, I know we all want to feel like we can do something. And so we're putting together with the Social Justice Committee. In the back corner behind the curtain, you will find a social justice corner. Soon. But in the meantime, look for, in the weekly windmill, things that are happening that you can get engaged with. There's quite a few, and we'll continue to communicate, but every Sunday we'll have something there that you can get involved with. And so this is a long need. We can't do everything, but there are many things, and so each of you can choose the things that you choose to get involved with. Next Sunday, along with this Sunday, is the next 3 weeks, we're talking about stories of women from the Old Testament, and today we talk about Eve, and the whole thing is about her being the first questioner. So think about that as we move into the service, but lastly, I just want you to invite each of you to the town hall meeting, which will be today after the service. As I said, you'll hear reports from our members of our program council, the board, and our finance. So let us now prepare to worship by singing opening hymn number 168, One Small Step. Please stand if you are able. So we gather this morning in a world full of voices telling us what is true, what is right, what is worthy of our trust. Some voices comfort, some divide, some ask us not to question at all. But ours is a faith that does not fear the question. Ours is a tradition that honors the restless mind and the listening heart. Long ago in an ancient garden, a woman asked a question and through history has often blamed her for humanity's fall. Perhaps what she really offered us was humanity's awakening. For questioning is not the enemy of faith, it is often where faith begins. In times of uncertainty, in moments when truth feels fragile, in a world that sometimes urges blind obedience, we are called to do something braver. We are called to discern, to listen deeply, to test what we are told against the quiet wisdom of conscience and compassion. May this hour be a sanctuary for holy curiosity. May this community be a place where questions are welcomed and not silenced. And may we leave here with the courage not only to seek truth, but to live it. Let us enter this time of worship together.
Good morning. It is so good to be back with you. I'm Reverend Eleanor Pease. I'm a Unitarian Universalist community minister affiliated with this congregation. And since my call is to serve the wider community, you might not see me here all that often, but I am rooted here and glad to be here now. As many of you know, I'm a hospital chaplain, and I also want you to know that I've just recently taken on a new part-time position as consulting minister to the UU State Action Network for the Commonwealth of Virginia. So I'm looking forward to telling you more about that at a later date. Watch your newsletter for an article. For now, let's light our flaming chalice, the symbol of our faith community, the flame of truth in the cup of love. And Dave, will you light it while I say the words? Hopefully. Let us follow the flame of questioning and seeking as we answer our call to understand and serve. Let us return and rest in the love that holds us, the cup of the earth's embrace. Do we need a match? And now I invite you to stand in body or in spirit and join in saying our congregational covenant. Love is the teaching of this church. The quest of truth is its daily task, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve life in community, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. This is our covenant with each and all.
And now if our children will come forward for our time for all ages. Come on down.
We are the prize. How's that?
Morning, friends. I was going to try to do this with my mask on just because, but I can't hear myself. So, today I want to tell you about a girl named Lila. Do we have any Lilas in here right now? No Lilas, okay. Phew. Dodge that one. But Lila had a very special gift. Lila asked questions. Not just a few questions, a lot of questions. You know anybody like that? When her teacher said, "Sit here," Lila asked, "Why?" Ooh. When someone said, "That's just the rule," Lila asked, "Who made the rule?" When her friend said, "Everyone is doing it," Lila asked, "But is it kind?"
And some people love this about Lila. Some people did not. And one day on the playground, Lila noticed a new student sitting alone on a bench. A group of kids walked by and whispered, "Don't play with him. He's weird." Now, it would have been easy for Lila to just follow along. Sometimes doesn't it feel safer just to do what everyone else is doing? But Lila stopped, and she asked the most important question she knew. Is it true? Then she asked another, is it kind? And the kids shrugged. We don't know. That's just what we heard. So Lila did something brave.
So brave. She walked over and she sat down next to the new student and said, "Hi, I'm Lila. Do you want someone to play with?" Whew. You know what she discovered by being brave like that and asking questions? He wasn't weird at all. He was funny. He loved dinosaurs. Possibly lava chickens, too. He could run faster than almost anybody on the playground, and by the end of the week, lots of kids were playing together, all because one person, just one, was brave enough to ask a question instead of just blindly following the crowd.
So now here's something that's important we need to remember. Asking questions is not being difficult. Asking questions is how we learn to love each other better. Sometimes questions help us tell the difference between truth and rumor, kindness and cruelty, fairness and unfairness. And did you know grown-ups need to remember just as much as children do?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So whenever someone says, "Just follow along," you can pause and wonder, maybe even out loud, is it true? Is it kind? Is it fair? Because questions are one of the ways we help make the world gentler and more loving. So let's try something. You ready? This is the interactive part. Put your hand on your head if you have ever asked why. Have you ever asked why? Why? Can you see how many people out there have asked why? This is good. That means your brain is working beautifully. And now, can you put your hand on your heart? You know where that is? Right about under your name tag, kind of. There you go. This is where kindness helps guide your questions. Because sometimes we really need to remember that part of asking questions too, right? Ask kindly. So what I wish for you this week and every week, may you always have curious minds and courageous hearts. Right? Amen. Blessed be. Go question! Yes, thank you so much. You can return to your seats now.
Every week, we set aside time for all who wish to light a candle of joy or sorrow, hope or concern, celebration or mourning. May I suggest that you come to the front through the center aisle and go back to your seat along the side aisles. And please come forward now. You. Now, the children get to go and have some fun in another place. So let's sing them out.
This is the time of the service where we do our offering, and for the month of February, our donations will be shared with the organization No Child Goes Hungry. Karin Rasmussen is here to say a few words about that.
Which comes first, the chicken or the egg? Good morning, everybody, on this cold and blustery day. If we haven't met yet, I'm Reverend Karin Rasmussen, the founder and director of No Child Goes Hungry. I've worn many hats here at Mount Vernon over the years. I was fortunate enough to be your intern and also a part of the original climate action team, and we did such impactful work together. This community has been so supportive of my nonprofit, No Child Goes Hungry. From the very beginning, when No Child was just an idea, a passion, a seed of something of a program, you were there, giving generously and cheering me on. And here I am, still a one-woman nonprofit with a wonderful volunteer who does all of my social media. My business model is really easy. I do the fundraising, and then schools and churches and community centers and libraries and individual, they apply for grants to do their work at a grassroots level. When I started No Child in 2016, oh my gosh, and became a 501c3, I was giving out 12 grants a year. I thought that was pretty good. It was a small group and it was a good ministry. But then the pandemic hit. The requests soared, and in 2020, I gave out 70 grants, and the numbers and the need just soared, and No Child just keep growing. And now, last year, after the inauguration on the 20th of January, things got horribly worse. Almost immediately with this administration, millions and millions of dollars of food assistance were cut. The effect was and is devastating to an untold number of kids and their families all over the country. Last year in 2025, I gave out, wait for it, 145 grants, which totaled over $81,000, with my average, oh, thank you. With my average donation being $35. Then in November, a mere 3 months ago, remember when the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, was stopped. It again tossed millions of kids and families into hunger situations. I was inundated with requests from help from teachers and social workers and school workers, special needs teachers, churches. Well, the list of requests is so huge. And let me say this. The individual requests I received from moms in some of the most remote places in our country who wanted a little free pantry for their yard to feed the kids going to school. Say what you like about Amazon, but I can get shelf-stable food and sheds for pantries, little free pantries, coolers, supplies, diapers. Oh, the need for diapers was just huge. And materials to start community gardens. I can get materials to them in days, sometimes within 48 hours. I have an Alexa connected to my Amazon. Anybody else here have an Alexa? Yes. Yeah. I like that Alexa tells me when the deliveries are made. It gives me joy to hear when deliveries of food are made around the country. In November and December, I was so busy that poor Alexa couldn't keep up, telling me where all the things were being delivered. She just kept spinning over and over again. So I had to tell Alexa to stop and take a breath and to start over. I was providing Alexa with pastoral care. Let me close by sharing with you a smidge, just a smidge of the projects from last year. I partnered with the Manhattan National Cultural Foundation in Amherst County, Virginia, to supply them with food in their weekend food program. I helped a sorority in Detroit, Michigan, to get weekend bags out to the kids in Detroit and the local areas. The teacher's aide at the public school number 5 in Manhattan, who fills and delivers bags of food herself to the families living in shelters and hotel rooms. You bet I sent her food. To the teacher in a remote town in Alaska who wanted a mini fridge, you know, like a little dorm fridge, so kids who have leftover food from their lunch can learn not to waste food, and she puts their apples or their milk or their cheese stick in the little fridge so she can discreetly send food home to them on the weekend. And the group I call the Pissed Off Moms. These are the moms who live in some of our poorest rural communities. They reach out to me because they just want a cooler. That's all they want, is a big cooler to put out by the bus stop so they can hand a kid a snack when the kids get on the bus, because they know that kid has nothing at home. I love these people. These people are making a difference. I feed kids in blue states and red states and purple states, and I don't care, chartreuse states. I don't care. I just feed kids. 100% of your donation goes directly to feeding the kids. I do not take a salary for my ministry, and I so appreciate your support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let us be generous, and now will the ushers come forward, and we'll collect for the offering.
You know, when I feel the Spirit in this room, I feel this sense of resolve, this sense of commitment that will and is taking shape and having impact in the wider world, and yet it is based in our spiritual and religious commitments, among which is the commitment to compassionately and kindly question. And I thank you for your resolve and your strength and your spiritual roots. The world needs us. So when I think about the story of Eve, immediately, like many of you, I start wondering, is that story the ancient one in the Judeo-Christian Bible? Is that story fair? Is it reliable? Right away, I'm thinking about the nature of stories, how we get to the truth. When a Zen Buddhist master was asked, "What is the truth?" he answered, "The truth is the intersection of everyone's perspective, if only we could know that." And his student, who I've been studying, says, "Of course we can't know that. But what we can do is seek out and pay attention to as many different perspectives, as many different lenses as we can find." So in the stories going on around us today, this means we have to be not just aware, but wary of the magnifying and twisting of social media and internet news feeds and old-fashioned news sources too, as we try to pull out what's true from the tangled web of vested interests, distortions, and even lies. Of course, I can't bring up this topic without commenting on the importance of video recording of ICE activities in our communities. These phone videos are crucial to getting at the truth. The stories that are told by our administration, for instance, about the deaths of Alex Preddy and Renee Good at the hands of federal agents in Minneapolis, those are clearly contradicted by multiple bystander videos. And we need these to counter the government narrative, repeatedly proven false, that ICE is only taking dangerous criminals off the streets, or US citizen protesters are domestic terrorists. Those are the lies. Yesterday, and this is part of what gives me hope and resolve, our church hosted an event, either 55 or 75 people participated, which introduced the local efforts to monitor ICE and other threatening activities in our community. Is that right, Bonnie? Do I have that right? Bonnie is one of the leaders coordinating, and that's a bunch of people, and there will be follow-up, there will be more, and there will be training on how to take bystander videos if necessary. So please consider how you can support truth-telling and safekeeping for our neighbors who are at risk, for our own selves when we may be at risk, whether from ICE or whatever other forces here in this community. UUs are stepping up. We had representatives from our church and another neighboring UU church and other congregations as well. So we are not alone. So getting back to the Bible and the story about Eve, the Bible follows the same wisdom of offering multiple perspectives. And sometimes when you read it, it can be confusing because the same event gets repeated because different stories about the same event are being told. It's kind of like if you meet a long-lost cousin, has that ever happened to you? You sit down with a cousin that maybe lives far away, you haven't seen since childhood, or maybe you've never even met, and you start telling family stories, and you're talking about your grandparents and what they remember and what you remember, even about the same people in the same event, might be completely different. So when I read the book of Genesis, it's a little bit like that. These stories are kind of coming at you from all points of view. And then we discover that they kind of knit together and bring us to a fuller sense of the truth. So in Genesis, in the story about creation, to start, God's personality and actions are totally different between the two versions. In the first one, God is mysterious and aloof, a force of nature fully in control, but very cosmic, very, very out there. This story is peaceful, which is really important in the context of religious studies, a peaceful manner of creation. And it's rhythmic. It feels like the cosmos, the turning of the universe. And in the second version, God is totally hands-on. After God makes the earth, God picks up some dust and shapes Adam and blows life into his nostrils. And then God plants a garden and he makes all the animals, and this God is very anthropomorphic. And then, and it's hard for me to say this without laughing, he performs surgery on Adam. He takes out he gives Adam some anesthesia and takes out part of Adam's rib and uses that to make Eve. Very up close and personal. God is a character, putting the world together by molding and cutting and creating, making things. But soon, in the second story, God is completely sidelined, and Adam and Eve and the serpent are on the main stage. And they start talking to each other, and they make their own discoveries, and yes, they ask questions. And both of these stories, the cosmic one and the hands-on one, bring out different parts of the truth. I love the power and mystery of the universe, the balance of light and dark, and the peacefulness of God seeing the light and darkness as good. But I also love how in the second story, people and animals get to do things. They have names, they ask questions, they exercise their own power. And so by hearing and appreciating both stories, we get a bigger and more nuanced and more complete sense of the truth. And now, remain seated for a hymn about truth and learning, number 158. And thank you, Paula, for helping us out.
don't know about you, but these last few weeks, my heart's been drawn to Minnesota. Many of my colleagues have been there on the front lines, defending and questioning and standing up. And when I was putting together the schedule for sermons and stuff, I had no idea that, we would have was happening in our country. But the title today, Eve the Great, the First Questioner, is really whether or not you believe in the story of Adam, Eve, or creation, or all that. It is one of our sources that we draw from. And I think it's important to look at that and say, what can we learn from that? And so the thing that we can learn from Eve is to question. The whole Genesis story, it's easy to rush into explanations, to the impulse to believe only familiar narratives. But what this story asks, and what I ask, is not to divide, but to discern, to seek what is true, what is just, what honors the dignity of every human life. And before we had those commandments that we hear about that were carved in stone, and before laws were written, we had this woman, Eve, according to our narrative, that asked a question. Not a rebellious, just wondering, what if? What if there is more to know? What if truth is not something handed down but discovered? What if wisdom requires risk? And so Eve became that first questioner, and for centuries she's been cast as a villain in that human story. But what if the story says more about our fear of questioning than about Eve herself? And so in our Unitarian Universalism, we affirm that revelation is not sealed, truth is not frozen in time, wisdom unfolds as we engage the world with open minds and brave hearts. Eve's question is not, how do I obey? Her question, what is true? And that question changes everything. Knowledge comes with consequences. To know good and evil is to know suffering, injustice, loss, and grief. But also to know love more deeply, to feel compassion, to recognize harm, and refuse it. So Eve's choice didn't end innocence, it ended ignorance. And while ignorance may feel safer, it has never made the world more just. So every movement that we think about, women's rights, civil rights, LGBTQ, began with someone asked a forbidden question: why must it be this way? Who benefits from this? And what if we lived differently? And so those questions are ones that are very pertinent today as we look at stories being shared with us, as things unfolding, as truth being presented as fact when it actually is not. And so, as Unitarian Universalists and as members of this community, our challenge is not to follow blindly through obedience, but to continue to question, to seek knowledge, to see that there's always many narratives, but there's always truth. And never before in our history of this country was it more important that we keep asking questions as to why and how. I was talking with one of my colleagues yesterday who's been on the front lines, who's been arrested now twice in Minnesota. And this question of why and purpose continues to be on the minds of many when the narrative is something totally different. And what she said to me, I think, is something that we can learn from, and that is the fact that our standing up and questioning with our friends, our neighbors, is power. And power speaks to truth. And so, the message today is to continue to question. Don't follow blind obedience. Eve asked the question as to why, and we all should be asking the question as to why. And as we begin to do that, it can slow down this machine. It also brings others into a conversation. Our Unitarian belief itself was a faith born from questioning doctrines, not rejecting creeds, and trusting that truth can withstand examination. So today we bless Eve not as a cautionary tale, but as a spiritual ancestor. We bless the questions that unsettle us, the doubts that stretch us, the curiosity that refuses to let us remain unchanged. May you have the courage to ask the questions that matter most. May you trust your questions. May you honor your conscience. May you seek truth with humility and courage. And when you are told, do not ask, do not touch, do not wonder, may you remember the story of Eve and choose wisdom anyway. And so, let us be a congregation that asks questions, that seeks knowledge, that gets involved, shares the knowledge that we obtain. Continue to ask questions. May it be so. Please join in singing our closing hymn, number 1003, Where Do We Come From?
We extinguish this flame. Do you say this with me? Yeah. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Doubt is the key to the door of knowledge. It is the servant of discovery.
Let no one fear the truth, that doubt may consume it, for doubt is the testing of belief.
Those who fear not to ask questions shall walk in the light of growing knowledge. The work of their hands shall endure.
Let us cherish and rejoice in our doubts, for doubt is the attendant of truth. Go in peace, get involved, and know that there is always strength in this community and that questioning is a good thing. May it be so.